Now we'll be diving right into our newspaper review, keeping you up to speed with the happenings on our national dailies. And of course, we're going to start with the newspaper you can trust, Daily Trust. And boldly written is US threat, Tinubu response to Trump. It started right at the first page and continued on pages 3 and 4. 3 teachers attend to 207 pupils in FCT school. This is right in page 16 of Daily Trust. 15% tariff, petrol may cost 1,280 naira per litre, diesel 1,194 naira. This is right in page 19 of Daily Trust. FEC okays $396 million credit for IDPs, Sokoto Health Project. This is right in page 22. And right below the front page of Daily Trust is despite peace deal, bandits kill 2 Katsina community leaders. This is right in page 23. Chief Imam killed over alleged witchcraft in Kwara State. This is right in page 22. Cameroon's Paul Biya sworn in for 8th term. This is right in page 25 of the Daily Trust. Lagos gets new federal varsity amid 7-year ban. This is right in page 22. And that is it for the Daily Trust newspaper this morning.
All right, so next up we have the Guardian newspaper. Right in front we have old battles linger amid new threats, fight for survival and truth. That is Nigeria's press at 166. Big story page that is on pages 4 and 5. At the top left we have Yoruba Runu urges Tinubu to address Nigerians on genocide United States threats. That's on page 3 of the Guardian newspaper. We have a Damagum tightens grip as PDP state chairman disown rival leadership. That's on page 3 as well of the Guardian. Federal government bars sale of fan assets, approves airport concession biometric upgrade. That's on page 3 of the Guardian. We have Tinubu vows to defeat terrorism as US plans military option. That is on page 6 of the Guardian newspaper. Nigeria losing legitimacy over widespread killings, lack of accountability. That's on page 30 of the Guardian. 68% of electricity consumers bypassing prepaid meters, says federal government. That is on page 2. We have Senate orders NAFDAC to outlaw sachet alcoholic beverages by December 31st. That's on page 30 of the Guardian newspaper. Anxiety, tight security as Anambra elects new governor tomorrow. That is on page 6 of the Guardian. Report ranks Nigerian states' health emergency preparedness below 30%. That is on page 7 of the Guardian newspaper. Make sure you grab yourself a copy and stay informed.
Now to the Punch newspaper. Tinubu rallies foreign ally as North rejects Sharia ban. FG vows to crush terror networks. NEF, ACF reject US move to outlaw Sharia. This is right in page 2 of the Punch. Under the front page is Anambra poll. INEC distributes sensitive materials. 55,000 policemen mobilized. This is right in page 15. Vehicles imports slide 10% on weak consumer spending. This is right in page 23. Pretty Mike gets 50 million bill for alleged drug offense. Right in pages 4 and 5 of the Punch. Newly inaugurated Tinubu campaign office demolished in Benue State. This is right in page 14. At the top right, FEC okays biometric flight boarding. PH Airport concession. This is right in page 27. FG rolls out new plans to tackle food shortage. This is right in page 11 of the Punch. Abuja Disco sacks 800 workers amid power crisis. This is right in page 24. And the last headline is APC. Wike blasts PDP over US embassy protest. This is right in page 7 of the Punch.
All right, joining us to review some of the headlines of the pages of today's newspaper is Salihu and Tata Mahmoudis, public affairs analyst. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Very good morning to you all for doing nation building service.
Thank you, Salihu. So let's get right to it. US threat. Tinubu response to Trump. What do you have to say about this headline, the big headline of the Daily Trust?
Yes, he is the president and commander-in-chief. And once issues of national security, of national issues emerges, he as the leader and number one man has to respond. Don't forget, the issues U.S. president raised, even though controversial, were one-sided, ill-informed, and orchestrated by maybe some half-baked people. Because don't forget, before this, there were some unknown clergies that went to U.S. Congress to inform them about a Christian genocide in Nigeria, which was not true. Even though, you know, our missions and high commissions as well as embassies now don't have ambassadors and high commissioners, this also contributed. And this is what we've been telling the government. What you need to do not create vacuum, because you don't create vacuum in governance. We are there to be ambassadors, high commissioners, and high commissions and embassies. This wouldn't have escalated to this. By now, our polished, brilliant, and enterprising Nigerian ambassador to US will have gone to the White House to debate this. Even if Trump is not going to make himself accessible, there is Secretary of State, Secretary of Foreign Affairs, and also of other things. They discuss the issues. So I think this should be a lesson to the president that in diplomatic circles, in our missions, embassies, and whatever, you don't need to create vacuum. I wonder what delayed the appointment of ambassadors. Even there are some areas where not ordinary ambassadors, they have ambassadors extraordinary and plenipotentiary, those that covers more than 2 or 3 embassies. So I believe his response is timely, but as well, it should take our interests importantly, because we are a sovereign and independent nation. Right. Like late General Sani Abacha used to say, we cannot allow any nation, whether first world country or what have you, to decide our internal issues for us. And even amid sanctions, the late general made security to be beefed off. Everything was moving. It was that time he set up Vision 2010, Economic Intelligence Committee, Fed Bank Tribunal, host of other things. Then redirected our foreign policy to Asia. That opened the line of trade relations with China, Korea, and other countries. There were Tata vehicles at that time that were imported for the police, army, and others from Korea. So the issues are, if any Western nation, whether first world country or what have you, Nigeria is a force to reckon with. Today in Nigeria, we have Chevron and Shell. They have partnership with NNPC. Go to Niger Delta, you see them. With what Trump is saying, do we even know the quantity of crude that is being explored from sea and what have you, that they said no measurement for it? Right. So if there are saboteurs, it should even be Americans, with due respect to them. So Nigerians should not be cajoled. We are an independent nation. This is what they orchestrate. Trump has been one of the most controversial leaders America ever produced. Don't forget, even their neighbors, Mexico, look at what he did to Canada. Look at even UK. So he is a man that needed not to be taken seriously, because you are talking about Christian genocide. In Plateau, both Muslim and Christians. In Benue as well, there were intelligence sources where even a Benue man that is a Christian bought petrol. He aided and abetted the mercenaries.
All right, let's look at this headline as well, still on insecurity. Despite peace deal, bandits killed 2 Katsina community leaders. So what is your take on this?
You see, on issues of negotiation with bandits in Katsina and Zamfara, even the governors and prominent traditional rulers came to say, we are opposed to it. You don't negotiate with someone who has made somebody a widow, a widower, orphan, and host of other things. So most of these communities around Matazu and other areas negotiating, we are doing it on their own. Like what happened in the under Malum Fashi local government, where in Gidam Mantau, early morning Muslim prayers were killed and most of other things. They had hitherto had such dialogue and negotiation in a neighboring community, where they said there was a breach of trust and blah, blah, most of other things. So these are non-state actors. They can never be taken seriously. So I think this is an eye-opener to the communities. Whatever you want to do, even though we have ungoverned areas, but no matter dialogue, sitting with non-state actors you're going to do, involve your prominent leaders, security agencies, and what have you, because these bandits also have interest. And don't forget, in Zamfara and Katsina, for instance, a lot of them are involved in illegal gold mines. That is the major business. Of recently, the intelligence report brought that the man who succeeded, they killed Sabubu, has been found to be exporting illegal gold mine to Niger, to other parts of the world. Right. So the issues is all about illegal gold mine, as well as other things known to them, even though the political will is lacking. But I believe at this time, no community should be open to dialogue with non-state actors, because they are people that have questionable character, can be trusted, and their target is just these illegal gold mines. And no matter what they are going to do, they are going to do that to achieve that result.
All right, another headline in Daily Trust says a 15% tariff. Petrol may cost 1,028 naira per litre and diesel 1,194 naira per litre. What do you have to say about this?
You see, in a country where you don't care about social security, and there are certain things people enjoy, don't go beyond your bounds. Government has been taking people for granted. Even though we know NNPC is now 60% owned by government, 40% by private sector, that is both independent marketers, major marketers, and others. This should not make the government to making the populace pay through their nose. If this is going to be, why are we now celebrating Dangote refinery? If this is going to be, why are we now celebrating others? So I think even with the removal of subsidy, there are certain incentives, there are certain leverages that the government can bring. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has been a private sector person. He shouldn't forget his days in Exxon Mobil. He was an accountant there. All his life before becoming a senator in ill-fated Third Republic, governor for 8 years, leader of APC, and now president and commander-in-chief. He has been in private sector. So I think he should do the best. And he's also the Minister of Petroleum. So I think he should call them to order, where Ipman, MAM1, NNPC Limited, and other stakeholders will sit down. This is when he need to put in expertise. There are certain things. What happened to our excess crude account? If we are talking that treasury is empty and this, there are a lot of other avenues to be explored. Look at the other issues emerging. So I don't think at this material time we need that. So the president, as Minister of Petroleum, should call all the stakeholders, sit down and see that this did not get the light of the day, because it will not augur well amongst the people. And it shouldn't also forget 2027, whatever they do, whatever decision they take now, might have a negative effect in 2027.
All right. Let's look at this headline. FEC okays $396 million credit for IDP's Sokoto Health Project. So now, what is your take on, the federal government still continuing to borrow?
You see, it's misplaced priority. Federal Inland Revenue Service has been turned to Nigerian Inland Revenue Service. Agencies have been deprived from collecting revenue directly, like customs and most of others, isn't it? So these monies that Nigerian Inland Revenue Service is collecting, where are they going to? These are the issues we should ask ourselves. You see, with internally generated revenue alone, government can be. The major thing affecting them is cost of governance. This routine of convoys they move with, payment for personnel, officers, hotels, are the things that are making things to be difficult. So let, from the presidency to state governments, to ministers, to senators, to House of Reps, managing directors, directors general, executive secretaries, let their cost of governance be reduced. Let me even tell you, managing directors of parastatals, you see them blaring siren. I was very, very disappointed when I saw convoy moving after me, and I saw the number of a parastatal. Why should managing director of a parastatal blare siren, have routine of mobile police? Who are you afraid of? Why should executive secretary? Why should a director general? Before you talk of minister, governors, and what have you. So they should look inwards, reduce cost of governance. I want to see President Bola Tinubu traveling in commercial aircraft one day. These presidential air fleets, they are also consuming money. During previous, particularly under the military administration, we know what is budgeted for presidential air fleet. Who manages the presidential air fleet? It's the Nigerian Air Force. Under this democratic dispensation, they will tell you they've taken the aircraft for repairs. What happened to Air Weapons School, Kainji? What happened to Air Training Ground? The Air Force managed the presidential air fleet. Then the Air Force engineers should be properly trained to maintain president's aircraft, not to be taken to the company that manufactured it. So I think cost of governance is the issue. We have no business borrowing. So Mr. President, with all the reform and what have you, I think they did not get it right. If the Minister of Finance is not ready to do the job, let these paddy things go. Let him go. Under military administrations of General Sani Abacha, we had the likes of late Professor Sam Aluko, a renowned economist. We have Professor Ibrahim Ayagi and most of others. They were the ones that sat down, initiated Vision 2010. Obasanjo borrowed it and renamed it Vision 2020. Look at Gwarimpa Housing Estate. Look at National Hospital. Itatu, it was family support hospital for women and children. This was an administration, even though military, that ruled by decree, that had sanctions on it. So the issues are democracy to some extent. I can say Nigerians are not enjoying it. Yeah. If government must be borrowing. So I think Mr. President should rather ask the chairman of Nigerian Inland Revenue Service to bring proceeds of the revenues collected, because that agency now collects revenue on behalf of other revenue generating agencies.
All right. Thank you very much, Salihu and Tata Mahmoudis, for reviewing the front pages of our national dailies this morning.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming, Salihu.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
All right, with that, we've come to the end of Daybreak on Trust TV. Make sure you tune in tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. so you don't miss out on Daybreak Extra. I'm Hawa Adamikiawa. Thank you for watching.
And I am Maria Medris. Do not forget to follow us across all our social media platforms and also join us on our YouTube live stream for more programs, more news and more documentaries. Have a nice day ahead.